In August 2019, Luis Enrique lost his 9-year-old daughter Jana to bone cancer. For most of us, life would come to a standstill, and for a while, it did for him. He stepped down from the Spanish national team to be by his daughter's side and then to grieve in private. But what's insanely remarkable is what came after. Luis Enrique didn't just return to football. He returned with grace, resilience, and a quiet strength that reflected not just a great manager, but a deeply evolved human being. In interviews, he's often said that he's thankful for the time he had with his daughter, thankful for life. That's not a mindset you hear frequently from anyone, let alone someone in a hyper-competitive, emotionally draining world of elite football. And yet that humanity has always been at the heart of his coaching style. This isn't just a story about genius football tactics. It's about how one man turned personal tragedy into quiet greatness, and in doing so, became one of the greatest man managers the game has ever seen. In 2019, Enrique stepped away from football during a personal crisis. His daughter Jana was battling bone cancer. He chose to be by her side fully, as any father would. When she tragically passed away, the football world stood still for a moment. Messages of support poured in, but few knew how or even if he would return to the game. But when he did, it wasn't with bitterness, it was with gratitude. And that's exactly what makes Luis Enrique unique. You see, Enrique doesn't just manage footballers, he manages human beings. And that's what makes him one of the greatest man managers football has ever seen. But don't let the emotional core fool you. Enrique's CV is one of the most impressive in modern football. Enrique began coaching with Barça B, a humble but meaningful post where he developed a reputation for discipline and modern football intelligence. When Barcelona appointed him as head coach in 2014, not everyone was convinced. He didn't have the calm exterior of Pep or the mythical aura of Cruyff, but he had something else. Raw fire. That fire forged one of the deadliest attacking trios in football history: Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. Under Enrique, they didn't just break records, they destroyed them. His 2014-15 Barca side won the treble. They scored 122 goals in La Liga, 31 in the Champions League. They didn't just win comfortably, they dominated world football. His tactical system was flexible, less possession-obsessed than Pep's, but far more direct and dangerous. It married individual brilliance with structural discipline. He gave Messi freedom without making the system fragile. This wasn't beautiful football for the sake of aesthetics. It was deadly, efficient, and elegant too. He trusted stars to do what they do best, and in return, they trusted him. After his stint at Barcelona, Enrique took charge of the Spanish national team at a time when they were struggling to evolve after the golden era. No longer could Spain rely on tiki-taka and experience alone. Enrique had to mix veterans with a new generation like Gavi, Pedri, Dani Olmo, and Ferran Torres and turn them into a unit. At Euro 2020 and the 2022 World Cup, Spain didn't win it all, but they didn't go down without showing signs of evolution. They were fearless in attack, willing to play young players in big moments. Enrique's Spain pressed high, moved the ball quickly, and attacked relentlessly. He built a locker room based on respect, accountability, and unity. Yes, they fell short in Qatar, but in a generation of overcautious national teams, Enrique dared to play football the way it should be played. Ask anyone who's played under Luis Enrique, and they'll tell you he simply deeply understands people. He learns what motivates each player individually, and he knows how to keep a squad connected, even when egos clash. Even in training, he keeps things competitive, playful, and intense. He understands morale like very few others in modern football. Not every manager can lead both stars and kids, veterans and hotshots, but Luis Enrique can, and that's the big secret. After proving himself at Barcelona and with the Spanish national team, many wondered what was next for Luis Enrique. In 2023, he shocked many by taking over at Paris Saint-Germain, a club with ambition, money, and chaos in equal measure. At PSG, Enrique didn't inherit a team, he inherited a storm. Messi was gone, Neymar was out, Mbappe was almost on his way out, only to stay for one final year. The team had stars, egos, and a dressing room notorious for power battles. It was a high-risk, high-reward job, but Enrique thrives under pressure. From the start, he laid down his philosophy. No player would be bigger than the team. The days of relying on individual brilliance to bail out a broken system were over. PSG were going to play as a unit with high pressing, possession-based, fluid attacking football. Under Enrique, players like Vitinha and Zaire Emery started to shine. The team pressed with intelligence, kept their shape, and attacked with calculated intensity. For once, PSG looked like a real football team, not just a brand stuffed with superstars. A famous clip from his first year in PSG showed how he tried to coach Mbappe almost like a prime Mourinho would have. Some critics claim that Enrique forces players to fit a system, that he turns artists into soldiers, but that's a surface level take. At Barcelona, he let Messi, Neymar and Suarez do what they did best. With Spain, he gave teenagers like Pedri and Gavi the confidence to play freely, but only within a pressing and passing model that never abandoned control. And at PSG, the same applies. He built a team, not a highlight reel. Enrique knows that the best football doesn't come from chaos, it comes from balance. Take Dani Olmo, Ferran Torres and Alvaro Morata, players who have all been doubted at some point in their careers. Under Enrique, they played their best football. He doesn't need his players to be perfect, he needs them to believe. And they do, simply because he believes in them first. He's not afraid to make unpopular choices either. He left out big names from Spain's 2022 World Cup squad and defended it openly. He told the media, "I don't pick names, I pick players." It's easy to compare Enrique to Pep Guardiola. Both are Spanish, both value possession, both came through Barcelona. But Enrique is not Pep 2.0. If Guardiola is the architect, Enrique is the alchemist. He takes what he has and adapts, always mixing, always evolving. Where Pep can sometimes over-engineer and overthink in big games, Enrique stays grounded. He'll press when needed, drop deep if necessary, and always push his fullbacks to support the attack. His philosophy is clear: control the game, but never ever kill it. In a world where managers crack under pressure, lash out at critics, or play political games, Enrique remains refreshingly human. He jokes in press conferences, he takes responsibility when things go wrong, and above all, he stays grateful. He's one of the few managers who's loved not just for what he wins, but for who he is. At PSG, Luis Enrique had the chance to finally break the Champions League curse. Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, and Manchester City all demolished by his young PSG side without Mbappe, followed by winning the final 5-0 where the referee was forced to blow the final whistle at .90 minutes without any stoppage time. That's legendary, and that is exactly what sets him apart. So is Luis Enrique one of the greatest managers of all time? If you're judging by trophies alone, he's absolutely already there. But if you're judging by influence on the game, on people, on culture, he might be one of the most important figures football has seen in the last 20 years. He's proven that success doesn't have to come at the cost of humanity, that you can demand excellence without shouting, that you can lose the most precious thing in your life and still lead others towards their dreams. That's more than greatness. That's a perpetual legacy. So where would you rank Luis Enrique in the all-time manager debates? Let us know below.